Have you ever been talking to a woman? Things seem to be going well, and then suddenly, she stops texting back? Here's why that doesn't mean what you think. Ethan had always considered himself a decent judge of character. He could tell when someone was lying, when they were nervous, or when they were genuinely interested in a conversation. But when it came to women, especially her, he felt like he was reading a book in a language he didn't understand. Her name was Clara. She was the kind of woman who could light up a room without even trying. Ethan had met her at a friend's birthday party, and from the moment she smiled at him, he was hooked. They'd been talking for a few weeks now, and while things seemed to be going well, Ethan couldn't shake the feeling that he was missing something. One evening, after sending Clara a text about a funny incident at work, Ethan waited for her reply. The minutes turned into hours, and his mind began to spiral. She's ignoring me. She's not interested. Maybe I should just move on. He sighed, tossing his phone onto the couch. Why was this so complicated? The next day, Clara finally replied, apologizing for the delay. She'd been swamped with work and hadn't had a chance to check her phone. Ethan felt a wave of relief, but it was short-lived. Over the next few days, Clara's behavior continued to confuse him. Sometimes she'd text him first, other times she'd go quiet for hours. She'd laugh at his jokes one moment, then seem distant the next. Ethan couldn't figure her out. One night, over coffee with his best friend Mia, Ethan vented his frustrations. I don't get it, he said, stirring his latte absent-mindedly. One minute she's all in, the next she's pulling away. Is she into me, or not? Mia, who had always been brutally honest with him, raised an eyebrow. Ethan, have you ever considered that maybe you're overthinking this? What do you mean? I mean, not every woman is going to follow the same script. Maybe Clara's just being herself. She's not ignoring you because she's not interested. She's just living her life. And maybe she's not texting you first because she's waiting for you to take the lead. Ethan frowned. But if she likes me, shouldn't she show it more? Mia laughed. You men are all the same. You think women have to act a certain way to prove they're interested. But here's the thing, women are complicated. Sometimes we're shy, sometimes we're busy, and sometimes we're just testing the waters to see how you'll react. Ethan thought about this for a moment. So, what should I do? Stop overanalyzing. If Clara's still talking to you, still spending time with you, then she's interested. Just be yourself, and let things unfold naturally. Taking Mia's advice to heart, Ethan decided to stop obsessing over every text and every interaction. The next time Clara took a while to reply, he didn't panic. When she seemed a little reserved, he didn't assume the worst. Instead, he focused on enjoying their conversations and getting to know her better. Over time, Ethan began to notice the subtle signs of Clara's interest. The way she'd play with her hair when she was nervous, the way her eyes lit up when she talked about her favorite books, the way she'd occasionally glance at him when she thought he wasn't looking. These small gestures spoke volumes, and Ethan realized that he'd been so focused on what he thought she should be doing that he'd missed what she was actually doing. One evening, as they sat on a park bench watching the sunset, Clara turned to him and smiled. You know, I really like spending time with you, she said softly. Ethan felt a warmth spread through his chest. I like spending time with you too, he replied. In that moment, Ethan realized that love wasn't about decoding every signal or following a set of rules. It was about connection, about understanding, and about being present. And as he looked into Clara's eyes, he knew that he was exactly where he was meant to be. This story captures the essence of the text, exploring the themes of misinterpretation, patience, and the importance of understanding one another in relationships. It's a reminder that sometimes, the best way to connect with someone is to let go of assumptions and simply be present.